Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here tonight on this stage again. The honor that I received last year, being the 2015 Woman of the Year, is something that continues to resonate for me. The honor of being associated with Pearl Buck's legacy is something that means more to me than I can ever explain. We're here tonight, we're all channeling Pearl. We're sharing stories, we're supporting her important work and the work of the foundation, the international, their international work with children, but also the work that they're doing in bringing a new generation of men and women the awareness of what Pearl was and the actions and the ideas that informed her whole life. And she really was a radical and an advocate. So it is, it's great for us to be here. And the reason we're here this evening, in addition to celebrating Pearl and the work of the organization, is to honor another woman who I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to introduce, Jane Golden. Jane is the founder and executive director of the City of Philadelphia Mural Arts Program, known to us all as Mural Arts. And she has been overseeing its growth from a small city agency into the nation's largest public art program dedicated to the mission and the belief that art ignites change. She was initially hired as a young artist by former Mayor Wilson Goode when the problem of graffiti was plaguing our city. And she was hired to reach out to the graffiti writers to help turn their destructive energies into creative ones. And in the process, she recognized the raw artistic talent among the graffiti writers, and she provided them with fresh opportunities to channel their creativity and ideas into mural making. The murals at that time transformed the city. In 1996, Mural Arts was reorganized under the City of Philadelphia's Department of Recreation, and Golden was named its director. At the time, she established the Philadelphia Mural Arts Advocates, a nonprofit organized to raise funds for this work. For 30 years, Mural Arts has united artists and communities through a collaborative process rooted in the traditions of mural making to create art that transforms public spaces and individual lives. More than 4,000, or close to 4,000 works of art have been created in that time, which is extraordinary. And the other part that is so extraordinary about the work that Jane does and her team with Mural Arts is the level of collaboration. In addition, each year, 12,000 residents and visitors tour Mural Arts Outdoor Art Gallery, and I recommend, if you haven't done it, please do, because not only is it a public art gallery, but it is a city treasure, and it has become it has earned international recognition as the City of Murals, which Philadelphia now is. So under Golden's direction, and I keep saying Golden and Jane, we're going to say Jane. Yes, last year we started to refer to Pearl as Pearl, because that's what she wanted. So under Jane's direction, these works of art were created through the collaborations with community-based organizations, city agencies, nonprofits, a host of people in the private sector, and various philanthropies. In keeping with the philosophy of the power of art to ignite change, which is what Mural Arts is all about, the partnerships that Jane and her team lead with these different organizations have helped develop and have developed these groundbreaking rigorous art education, restorative justice, and behavioral health programs that serve young people and individuals throughout the city. In addition to youth and adult offenders at area prisons and detention centers, programs with mural arts, these collaborations with different organizations, have really helped individuals who are suffering from trauma, mental illness, and various forms of addiction. These programs have made it possible for thousands to experience and witness the power of art to connect young people to their communities and to future opportunities. It breaks the cycle of crime and violence and brings about the healing of individuals and communities. Jane has become sought after over the course of the work that she has been doing, nationally and internationally, as an expert on urban transformation through art. She's received numerous awards for her work, including the Philadelphia Award, the Hepburn Medal from the Katharine Houghton Hepburn Center at Bryn Mawr College, the Visionary Woman Award from Moore College of Art, the 2012 Governor's Award for Innovation in the Arts. The list goes on. She also has received Philadelphia Magazine's Trailblazer Award. In addition, and you have seen it in the raffle package, is one of Jane's books. She has co-authored 2 books about murals in Philadelphia and co-edited a third, Mural Arts at 30, which was published on the occasion of the Mural Arts 30th anniversary. Jane is widely referenced in publications around the world, and she's an adjunct professor at the University of Pennsylvania. She holds a Master of Fine Arts from Mason Gross School of Arts at Rutgers University and degrees in Fine Arts and Political Science from Stanford University. In addition, she's received honorary PhDs from Swarthmore College, Philadelphia University of the Arts, Widener University, Arcadia University, LaSalle, and most recently, Rosemont College and Villanova University. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming a woman of distinction and influence, Jane Golden.
Thank you. I am so deeply honored to have my work and the work of the City of Philadelphia Mural Arts Program recognized in the spirit of the great Pearl Buck. Pearl was was a remarkable woman years ahead of her time. She was bold, she was determined, and she was clearly her own person at a time when it wasn't easy for a woman to defy the expectations of others. During the 20s and 30s, when faced with enormous setbacks, trauma, and losses, Pearl Buck did not falter. Instead, she and her family demonstrated extraordinary courage and a word that I love, resilience. Undaunted as an artist, Miss Buck began to publish stories and essays and then novels during this period of time. She was tenacious, she was prolific, going on to win the Pulitzer Prize in 1932 and the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1938, the first American woman to do so. Miss Buck saw life as a series of challenges, and she faced them fearlessly and selflessly. She saw great inequity in the world and fought back, not just with words, but with actions. From the time she moved back to the United States in 1934, Pearl was active in American civil rights and women's rights. During World War II, Pearl and her husband founded the East and West Association, dedicated to cultural exchange and understanding. And in 1949, outraged that existing adoption services considered Asian and mixed-race children unadoptable, she established Welcome House, the first international adoption agency. This boldness and determination and deep desire to fight against injustice These are traits I deeply admire and strive to embody in my own life. They are essential qualities for anyone who wants to overcome barriers and see their ideas take root in the world. And this resonates for all of us at Mural Arts, because as wonderful as it is to create art, and believe me, I'm an artist and my mom was an extraordinary artist, there is a competing impulse that urges us to try just as hard to create art that is integral to our daily lives and art that contributes to the public well-being. And that tradition that looks at art and social change is where mural painting truly belongs. I came to that tradition through my dad, who shared his love of Thomas Hart Benton and Ben Shahn with me. When I was young, I loved nothing more than to look at books of mural paintings done in the WPA or the work by the Mexican muralists. Later in college, I started to paint larger and larger and think of myself as a social realist painter. When I graduated, I wasn't sure what to do. And my painting professors at Stanford urged me to think about nothing but art. I was an artist who thought about going to law school. They said, don't go to law school. You should get a studio and paint and get a job that's boring, that won't take away from your creative impulse. My parents were thrilled with that advice. Of course, I think they were rooting for law school. But I moved down to Los Angeles and I took their advice and I painted. And when I painted, I felt alone, isolated, longing for something else. When I drove around the city of Los Angeles, one thing was really true. There were glorious, glorious murals. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be wonderful to do a mural? But I wasn't sure how. One day, I opened the LA Times and read about an organization that gave out grants to mural painters. I got very excited and I called this number. They told me I was past the deadline. But like Pearl Buck, I am tenacious. And I said to them, well, what if I wasn't past the deadline? What would I have to do? And they said, well, you have to find a wall and do a design about a neighborhood issue. But we want to remind you you're past the deadline. So I said, okay, fine. So I hung up and I walked around Santa Monica and I found a great wall. I then researched the community. I then started doing a design. I then called back the city of LA. I told them I had done everything they said, and would they reconsider an application from me? They said, absolutely not. Under no circumstances would they do so. I then drove downtown. I dropped off my application on the executive director's desk. See, I like this when people do this to me. I think, oh, they've got real spunk. And I then proceeded to call them every day for 3 months. You see why the city of Philadelphia thinks I'm a pest. One day I got a phone call. I said, hello, and someone said, we hope we never hear from you again. I said, who's this? They said, it's the LA Mural Program. You have the grant. I was like, oh my God. The grant, I know. That's how we made it through 5 mayors. Don't tell Jim Kenny. But he already knows. Of course he knows. So I realized that I had never done murals before. I had been disingenuous on my mural, on my application to them. I had said I had done murals all over Stanford's campus. I had not. I painted large. I thought that counted for something.